Now here's your host,
Walter Ika Balsetta. Whoops, I fumbled. I got to get out of here.
Walter Ika Balsetta.
Yo, what's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Passion for the Pastime, a Whip It Out Walter Wednesday, right? That's what we're calling it here on the Pastime, and I guess on the Sports Leader. If you guys caught any of that any of that segment today, we usually do it on Wednesdays at 11:50. No Papa today, but we had Dieter and Greg Silver, and yeah, we do the whip around. Yeah, whip around Wednesdays, which we're probably going to be doing here on the podcast during the regular season. But what's up, everybody? Welcome on back to a Wednesday edition of Passion for the Pastime here in February 19th on a Wednesday. We're getting ready for the start of the regular season. You're saying my mic is off again? Damn it! This thing continues to happen. I don't know. You know what? I need to start checking damn things. Here we go. We're good to go. Appreciate you, Rockin'. Rockin's always on it. I always know when Rockin's here, we're gonna have a good show because he picks me up where I drop the ball all the time. So I know you guys can hear me now. We're good to go. I need to start checking this thing on a regular basis. I've been sitting here in this chair for about maybe 5 to 10 minutes getting all these videos ready for you guys. And yes, I need to get a checklist and make sure that we have the microphone working on functional before we go live. Maybe let's start to do that. It's spring training for everybody, guys. So what's up, everybody? Welcome on back to Passion for the Pastime here on a Wednesday. I see Lori Galvin in here as well. Saw Tacky in here earlier. I don't know if Tacky's still around, but what's up, Tacky? Good to see you in here. AJ, what's up? Good to see everybody stopping by as well, and we'll see some more regulars trickle in as this show goes on. So before we get any deeper into it, we got a couple of videos from Austin Scottsdale, KMBR Digital. He had a lot of videos that he put up this morning on KMBR social. So if you guys want to go catch any of those videos, go ahead and take a look. But yeah, I'll be playing some of these videos. He had a chance to speak with Bob Melvin privately, but then we'll also, as I mentioned yesterday, we get some video from the media scrum of the Giants with Bob Melvin. We're not going to play it in its entirety today, but we'll play the last like three or so minutes of Bob Melvin just talking about the more important stuff, I guess, the juicy stuff. I know at the beginning of the media scrum, he was talking about Tyler Fitzgerald, and we all know that he's dealing with a back injury. And if you didn't know that, now you know he's dealing with a back injury. Not anticipated to be, have a hindrance going into spring training, but you never know. And obviously, if you're dealing with back issues and it flares up in spring, and it can be a year-long process. So you look to the depth of the infield, right? I mean, you go to Brett Wisely, you go to Casey Schmidt, among others. So it's going to be really interesting to follow that along. But that's the only part that we're not going to be playing, and we'll talk about at a later date. Victor chiming in. What's up? I see Pat H. Greetings to you, Pat H. Good to see you in here, man. Saw you in there in the whip around segment as well. And Victor has comments on the whip around or whip it out. No need to whip it out here. Yeah, no, we're not. Not whipping anything out. We'll do the whip around. We'll go ahead. Papa still doesn't understand. Like, he still doesn't know what the name of the segment is. He likes to tell me to whip it out. He's like, whip it out, Walter. Whip. That's all he does on a Wednesday. And then we have anyways, we'll get into that as we get into more Papa-isms, I'm sure, as they'll come up. But gotta let you guys know, because at the beginning of the show, like I was telling you, we got all these videos. We're gonna go ahead and do that. Saw a little bit of the Vlad Jr. Situation, or I guess the Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Contract negotiations, right? We spent a good portion of the show yesterday talking about it. And for those of you that were in John Lunn's stream earlier today, we were kind of BSing at the beginning of it, and he was talking about Vlad Jr. too. And I came to a terrible realization as to why now I'm kind of freaking out. Like, you guys got to kind of talk me off the ledge a little bit, but we'll get into that shortly. So really quick, we've been talking about it the last couple of weeks, ever since we hit 100 subscribers here on Passion for the Pastime, and I want to thank everybody who's in here and everybody who has listened, tuned in, since we brought the podcast to YouTube in early December, right as the winter meetings we're commencing. I want to thank all of you guys for making it possible. We're above 100 subscribers. I never would have thought that was at all possible at any point in time. So I really want to thank you guys for making that a possibility, and we're continuing to grow. It's going to continue to grow into the season, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So what I want to do is to celebrate the 100 subscribers that we have here on the podcast. And, just so you guys understand how much you guys mean to me, we are going to go ahead and give you 2 tickets to go see the Giants during the regular season. It will be a select game. We'll talk about it. Whoever gets the winning draw, right? And we'll get you out there. We'll get you 2 tickets to go see the Giants during the 2025 season. Try to do it during the first homestand of the Giants season, if that works in your schedule, whoever you may be, if you are selected for winning the 2 tickets. So we'll go ahead and do that. Again, just to let you guys know, if you are a subscriber and you make your subscriptions public, I can see you, but to help expedite the process, to make sure that I don't miss any of you that are subscribed, and any of you guys that are in here on a daily basis and having a fun time on the podcast, I need you guys to go ahead and send me a screenshot of you subscribed to the channel and send that to passionforthepastime@gmail.com. Again, if you go back to the beginning of the podcast, I put out a couple of texts there in the YouTube chat, but I'll go ahead and put in one more time the email, passionforthepastime@gmail.com. And what that does is that it just expedites the process. It just makes sure that I do not miss you at any point. It just makes sure that you are included in the draw, which will take place tomorrow. Again, it's 2 tickets to go see the San Francisco Giants, the 2025 San Francisco Giants during the regular season. Again, trying to do it for the opening week. But if it can't happen, if it doesn't work out for you, we can find a game for you. Obviously, Dodger games are going to be harder to come by. Maybe we'll do that when we get to 500 subscribers, but we'll work with you. We'll work with you for sure. But it's going to be a lot of fun as we get into that. So, but yeah, so I just want to let you guys know that contest is still going on. That giveaway is still happening. It will happen tomorrow. And just to kind of break down what this will look like, I'll go ahead and share my screen. This is what we're going to be doing. And let me go ahead and do this now. Let me pull this up. So this is what it's going to look like. I know you guys can see it a little bit here, but it's just a spinning wheel. I'm able to put everybody in there. And if you see on the right-hand corner there, you can see Rockin', you can see Pat H, AJ Cruz, Wesley. I assume that's 415 West, but I'm not entirely sure who Wesley is. But what's up, Wesley? Welcome to the Passion for the Pastime family. You got Mama J in there, Tacky, Ernie, everybody that I have been able to see that are subscribed to the podcast. And what we are going to do, right? And this is a practice run. And I don't know why these ads just keep popping up. You got a migraine? Yeah, probably from listening to me. But let's go ahead and clear that. So a practice run, we're just going to hit a spin. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I can hear it in my headphones. And now the winner is, look at that, Wesley. I didn't even, oh no, it's Mama J. Mama J just that was the demo. That was the demo run. And we'll clear this page and we'll reset it and all that kind of stuff. So don't you guys worry about that. But that's how it's going to work. That's how it's going to work tomorrow. So we'll go ahead and do that. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Feel free. I'm going to go out to the YouTube chat here shortly. If you have any questions, I'll answer any questions that you guys have regarding the contest. But that's how we're going to be running it. And that will commence tomorrow. So what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Passion for the Pastime. It is a Wednesday. It is a fun Wednesday. Before we get into any Giants stuff, I'm going to get out to the YouTube chat. And then when we reconvene, we're going to go ahead and get into a little bit of the Vlad Jr. stuff and why I need to be talked off a ledge. Because essentially, today when I was in the YouTube chat and I was, messing around with, I don't know if Otis was in there, but I know for sure AJ was in there. I know Rockin' or 5950 was in there, and we were kind of BSing, going back and forth. I know Tacky was in there as well, and John Lund. And go ahead and check out John Lund Unleash Pod on I almost said KMBR on YouTube. Go ahead and check that out. He does a great job. He does it every morning, 8 o'clock, usually 8 o'clock, 8:15. I guess it just depends. Just depends when John's feeling good, feeling up to doing it. But usually it's like in the 8 o'clock hour. Anyways, so we were in there, we were talking, we were BSing about Vladdy, and I just said, I was like, oh shit. And I don't know if you guys follow me on Twitter. I tweeted this as well. Realize that you can't spell Vlad without LAD. And I know I'm not breaking news or anything like that, but you can't spell Vlad without LAD. And that when I came to that realization, I like went to the bathroom and I was like looking at myself in the mirror and I was like, oh my God, what, Vlad Jr. is going to be a Dodger? Because we were talking about it yesterday. And again, my big premise is I don't believe that the Giants are going to go after Vlad Jr. I don't know if they have the capital, and even if they do, I don't think they're going to give up what they potentially would have to even get the Blue Jays sniffing in the right direction. But it would have to include Bryce Eldridge, right? And I've been asking you guys, and I've been asking other people that I've been talking to, is like, if that was the caveat, like you have to include Bryce Eldridge in a type of deal to bring Vlad Jr. over here, and that's assuming that he signs the contract. We'll get into the contract negotiations and the money here shortly, because the dollar amount, I was making sure that the source was real, and it looked legit, right? So we'll bring that up in regards to David Ortiz. So I was starting to panic a little bit, right? Because you figure that the Giants wouldn't be in on Vlad Jr. You figure that, you have Bryce Eldridge, and unless you're willing to give up Bryce Eldridge, which I don't think that the Giants are at this point in time, and they'd have to spend, I mean, you're talking about a much cheaper option for many, many years of control, right? Versus Vlad Jr. if you were going to go ahead and sign him. So again, it just doesn't make sense for the Giants. But then my big premise last night when we were talking about it here on Passion for the Pastime, you guys were all listening, and you remember my concern was that I know the Giants aren't going to do it, but I don't need another team, regardless if it's the Dodgers. Of course, I would hate it for it to be the Dodgers, but you just don't want another team in the National League West to make that type of move. Now, when you look to all the other teams and you start looking at the dollar amount that will be available, or will be required, I guess, what Vlad Jr. is looking for, then there's only a select amount of teams that can legitimately pull that off. Like, is that going to be the Cubs? Is that going to be the Red Sox? And we'll get into that shortly. Is that going to be the Yankees? I mean, the Yankees really went after Paul Goldschmidt on a flyer, and that's about it. That's about it. So I don't know if they have anything. I mean, they have that one tall guy. Damn, I forget was it Spencer Jones? Do they still have Spencer Jones on their team? He was the dude that was hitting like 450-foot nukes in spring training last year. I want to say it was Spencer Jones. But I think he projects to be in the outfield, but maybe they move him over to first base. I'm not sure. I haven't freshened up on my Yankees prospects. Maybe I'll have to talk to Waterboy, who is on their way to, by the way, Waterboy and Murph. They're heading out to Scottsdale tomorrow, and we'll probably have maybe have Marcus on the show next week to kind of break down the first weekend of Cactus League play. I haven't asked him yet, but this is me kind of asking him if he's watching. I know he's watching. Maybe we'll have Marcus on next week to kind of break it down. But anyways, so you look at the Yankees. I mean, they could use all the power that they can get in that division. You look to the Red Sox, and then you just look at all these other teams that could it be the Rangers? Potentially. I mean, Vlad Sr. did finish out, shout out Vlad Sr. getting us that first World Series championship in 2010. He did finish out his career as a Texas Ranger, right? So it could be, he can go to Texas. He could potentially go to Los Angeles. We all know their budgetary constraints or lack thereof with the Dodgers. Is there something that the Padres can do? The Diamondbacks, we saw them, roll out the bag for Corbin Burns. Is that kind of a changing of a guard situation with the Arizona Diamondbacks. That market doesn't really call for it, but hey, you never know with owners and if they see the opportunity to win, maybe they're willing to spend. I mean, there just isn't that much of ownership that does what the Dodgers do. So to ask the Diamondbacks to kind of do that, but again, my concern is that we know he's not going to come to the Giants. We know that's not going to be a possibility unless the ownership and the organization is willing to part with very valuable pieces, which I don't think that they're in that category right now. So then you want to make sure that he doesn't come to San Francisco. And really quickly, I'll go ahead and play this video just to get the number in front of you. And I saw this pop up on my Twitter feed, and I was just like, okay, who is this guy, first of all? And then second of all, is this legit? Like, I don't even know if this was real or not. So this is from, I think it was Blue Jays Today was the YouTube page. I believe they have the YouTube page. They have a YouTube channel, but I believe that was the handle on X on Twitter. So this is what
he thinks Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is worth way more than we were initially projecting. David Ortiz on the radio in Spanish said that I have Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at 13 years, $585 million, which
So that's really all you guys need to know, is that Vlad Jr., as it looks to the Blue Jays, David Ortiz and I tracked this down and I listened to it in Spanish, and I'm not entirely sure if it is David Ortiz, but from how they are presenting it, it was David Ortiz, and I heard him say that in Spanish, in that he has the contract for Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and it's such a specific number. The connection with David Ortiz and Vlad Jr. and the Guerreros and Ortiz and I mean, we've seen the pictures of Vlad Jr. Taking up a Gatorade to David Ortiz during a home run derby in 2010. So it's like, the connection there. I mean, we talk about the rich history of Puerto Rican baseball, and I mean, look at Dominican baseball. David Ortiz is kind of the godfather of that, right? So you look at David Ortiz, you look at Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who is also Dominican. I mean, this number is very specific in that, is this kind of a leak from Ortiz in that he's had communication with Vlad Jr., because 13 years, $585 million. That is oddly specific and a hell of a price for Vlad Jr. If that's the money that he was coming off of, I mean, if you were the Blue Jays, and I'm asking you as in the YouTube chat, and I'll get out to you guys shortly just to wrap up my thoughts here in the first 20 minutes of the show. If you were the Blue Jays, right, and you're looking at 13 years, I believe he's 26 years old, going on 27. I believe when he goes into quote unquote free agency, 13 years, $585 million. If you're the Blue Jays, do you pull the trigger on that? Because obviously it's not Juan Soto level. Like, it's not Juan Soto level at all. And if you're going off of the numbers, I believe that puts him second, right? Wouldn't that be putting him second amongst position players? In that number one is Juan Soto, number two is Ohtani. And then, right? Am I tripping on the numbers? And then $585 million. That would be Vlad Jr. So I mean, that's a hell of a number. 13 years. You're talking about going into into 40, right? So, I mean, that's a crazy number. So if that is legitimate, if that is the number that Vlad Jr. was at, and we saw Pat H earlier kind of give us the lowdown, saying that he potentially wants 500 mil plus, right? So Pat H breaking some news yesterday, and then you see this number with $585 million. That is a lot of cash. But if I was the Blue Jays, just understanding his importance and, I mean, your relevancy, if Vlad Jr. isn't there, you're not the Blue Jays. If Vlad Jr. isn't there, you're not a relevant squad in Major League Baseball. So I know it's a steep price tag, and it's a lot easier to spend other people's money. But all I'm saying is his importance to that organization, I think it is valid. I mean, yeah, would you want it to come down? 585 versus 340, which is what the Toronto Blue Jays did offer. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of wiggle room in between. Now, can they come and meet in the middle? Potentially, but we'll have to follow along with that storyline. Just wanted to bring that up to you guys before we got into some Giant stuff. So let me get on out to the YouTube chat because I haven't said hi to everybody properly yet. We're about 20 minutes in, so I appreciate you guys all stopping by. Rocket New Era in here, Lori Galvin in here, Pat H in here. What's up, Pat H? Victor, we said hi to Victor earlier. Otis, good to see Otis in here as well. JB checking in. JB, what's up, JB? I think JB is new to the podcast here. So welcome into Passion for the Pastime. If you are enjoying yourself, if you're having a good time, go ahead and give us a subscription. Subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and give us a like. Set your notifications. All that fun stuff. We're here Monday through Thursday, trying to get the Fridays locked down, but Monday through Thursday, for the most part, at 6 o'clock, usually, roughly around the 6 o'clock time, either 6 o'clock or 5:45, but trying to keep it consistent for you guys to make it a little bit easier. But welcome on in, JB. JB is saying, why do I have a gross feeling the Dodgers signed Vlad in 2026 to a long-term deal to play third base? Oh, third base. To play third base. Max Muncy expendable for them. See, I was thinking that they could go ahead. They literally can move on from Freddie Freeman. I mean, Freddie Freeman's 35 years old. We came to this realization last night, JB, if you weren't here. But Freddie Freeman's 35 years old. Dodgers could trade him away. I was even thinking, who needs a bat? They could trade him away to the Mariners if they want to at some point and get another pitcher. Like, and go get Luis Castillo or maybe somebody better in that realm. So I don't know what the plan is, and yeah, I feel that way. I feel that same way, right? Because you heard me say it earlier. You can't spell Vlad without LAD, and ever since I came to that realization, I have been losing my damn mind. And kind of freaking out a little bit. So, so thank you guys. It wasn't Otis that took me off my rocker this time. It was myself. It was my own doing. So, JB, welcome in to the family, man. R Galvin, what's up, R Galvin? Good to see you in here as well. Let's see what else we got here. Tacky chiming in. Walter, was Dieter impressed when you whipped it out? He definitely was. He definitely was impressed. Tacky, yes, the DM was good. I did see your DM. You are good to go, man. I don't know if you saw your name in there, and maybe I'm just a little bit behind on the comments. I'll get out to the comments, try to catch up here in a little bit. But you were listed in that trial run, Tacky, so you are good to go. Let's see what else we got here. Yes, yep. Otis answering my question. Appreciate you guys. That's the same spinny wheel Dirty Work uses. Yeah, and how you think Dirty Work got the spinny wheel? Come on, man. I'm the innovator. Come on. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, seriously. All right, let's go back out to the YouTube chat. I immediately thought of that as well. Yeah, you guys. A lot of the same thing gets repurposed here on the podcast. Let's see. Victor, 2 tickets in left field when the Dodgers take over the park. No fun. Yeah, no, I won't do that to you guys. I definitely will not subject my listeners, the Passion of the Pastime. I will not subject you to a beating or to not having a good time. It's gonna be when the Giants play the Rockies. You know what I mean? Like, I was looking at the schedule when with Silver earlier today. And I mean, maybe we get you on the back end of that opening weekend, right? I mean, they're opening up against the Mariners. We'll try to do something there, but definitely can't do opening day. I'm sorry, guys, I can't do opening day. That's too rich for me. I don't make the big bucks. Working 4 jobs. So we have after the Mariners coming into town, we have the Reds. I mean, the Reds are a competitive team. But maybe that Tuesday night, maybe that sounds a little enticing to you guys. I don't know. I'm just gonna throw that out there, but we'll figure it out. We'll definitely figure it out. What works on your schedule. Tacky, damn it, Mama J. Yeah, no, it didn't count. And Mama J, I don't think is in the YouTube chat yet. But yes, it did not count. Let's see what else we got going in here. Victor, I'm up in there in the PNW. I'm lost on that. I'm reading it. Maybe I'm reading it wrong, but I don't know with that. EB, what's up, EB? Good to see you in here. That's a good idea with the wheel, Walter. My man is legit. Hell yeah, EB. Appreciate you, and appreciate EB for going into the various YouTube chats and recruiting, telling everybody to stop by Passion for the Pastime tonight. I think it was in the KMVR YouTube chat earlier today around like 3:00. I saw EB like recruiting people. I think he was recruiting Barbs. I don't know if I see Barbs in here yet, but no, appreciate the hustle, EB, really do. But let's see here. Let's see. Oh, okay, gotcha, Victor. You live up in the Pacific Northwest. All right, I got you. Well, that makes it a little bit more difficult, but if you ever find yourself traveling down to the Bay Area and you are a winner, or you just make it you make it a trip. You win these tickets, you make it a trip. Just come down, Highway 1, right? Have a nice little road trip and go to a Giants game. That might be fun. But we'll see. I mean, don't give up on us, Victor. But you're more than welcome to put in an entry for the giveaway for sure. Let's see. Otis, I haven't been on Lund's pod yet, but I might have to check it out one of these days. Yeah, no, John, I mean, man, like, John has helped me out a lot. Not necessarily, I mean, yeah, he's helped me with the YouTube. But ever since I took over as being the producer for Papa and Lund back in, late 2021, and then it became official, I guess, in 2022. Ever since then, man, like he's been like a rock in my corner, man. Like he's helped me out a lot. So love John, love to promote and help him out in any way, but not that he needs my promotion, but he runs a tight ship over there on the Unleash pod, John Lund Unleash. So go ahead and definitely check that out, Otis, when you get the opportunity. It's a lot of fun. Usually Monday through Friday. I think he actually does Saturdays now, which Saturday will be show 69. So if he is doing the show on Saturday, I haven't gotten confirmation if he's going to hold it off until Monday. But Saturday should be show 69. It's gonna be fun. It should be fun anyway. It should be wild and wacky if we're gonna do it properly. But yeah, definitely check that out, Otis, if you haven't done so already. EB checking in. Victor, if you win, you could donate your tickets. That is also valid. I mean that. You just pay it forward if you do want to go that route. That is a great suggestion there, EB. Let's catch on up to the YouTube chat. Let's see what else we got going on here. You guys are having a good time in the YouTube chat. Otis chiming in on the Vlad sweepstakes. Would be wild if he went to the team like the Angels, in some ways contributing, following his dad's footsteps, playing in Canada, then in Anaheim. Or, does Anaheim really exist? It's just Los Angeles. like that's what I'm saying, is that he played for the Anaheim Angels, but then they became the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim shortly after Vladdy got there. So I'm still freaking out. I know you're trying to take it to another level with the Angels, and that's another team there. But I mean, does Anaheim really exist? I mean, it doesn't really exist. It's a fictional place. It's all just Los Angeles down there. So let's see what else. Yeah, Tacky chiming in on the contract. 13,585 with that body type. Do we think he's aging well? Yeah, that's the other thing. But he does have the bat. So I mean, if he turns into a DH, like if he becomes like an Albert Pujols my thing is, if he becomes an Albert Pujols, cool. But I think what Tacky's going with that body type and with his defensive deficiencies at first base, he's not that great defensively at first base. He's serviceable because of his bat, but he's not that great defensively. He would be a Albert Pujols type, but at a much younger age. Like he might get into the like the Albert Pujols age, or DH only, like Nelson Cruz, like at 32. If it continues to trend in that way. So again, that is a valid reason, right? That is a reason why maybe the Blue Jays do have a little bit of hesitancy, right? And also, I mean, just go back and look what we were talking about last night. Go back and look at some of these guys that the Blue Jays have been going after. They went after Ohtani. They went after Juan Soto. They went after all these other players. I think they went out. No, I don't think they went after Aaron Judge. But they've gone after all these other different types of players that, I mean, let's just say it, are in better physical shape than Vlad Jr. So yeah, that could be a little bit of the reasoning as to why the Blue Jays haven't pulled the trigger. So yeah, you're on that one, Tacky, for sure. And Otis, sorry, Otis, I didn't take any of my thoughts from your idea, but we're right on the same wavelength. He may end up being a DH later on, and yeah, I think it'll probably happen sooner rather than later. And look at EB. We're just of the same wavelength now. I'd know that if I kept up with the comments. But yeah, 40 is the new 32 when you talk about somebody going just straight up DH here at this stage of baseball with Vladdy. So yeah, you guys are definitely in on that. Walto Clock. All right. Hell yeah, rockin'. Appreciate you. Walter going cheap on the boys. Nah, come on, bro. What are we doing? Let's see. Otis Bird for nah, me, I'm a little dramatic. I'm not working 4 jobs. I think the most jobs that I've worked at one time was 3 at one time. And it was very short-lived, but yeah, I think I want to say it was 3 at one time. But let's see what else we got going on here. Tuesday nights works for Otis. Good to know, Otis. If you do end up being the winner, I will definitely keep that in the memory banks. The Mexican American Dream, what's up? We got the phone line open if the Mexican American Dream wants to call in. Just saying. I think I have it hooked up. Hold on, let me go ahead and check my phone. Let me make sure that we are hooked up. I believe we are hooked up. I have a text message from Greg Silver. Greg Silver knows I'm doing a pod. What is he doing? All right, let me get Greg Silver a number real quick. Doing it on the fly. You guys talk amongst yourselves really quickly, because this is how we're talking about doing jobs at the same time. This is kind of job 2.0, right? Doing the pod. Actually, it's not a job. It's a lot of fun. I just sent it to Silver. Silver, I'm doing a podcast. What are you doing, man? No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's get back out to the YouTube chat really quickly, and then we'll start playing some of these videos to give you guys a little bit of context and where everything stands for the San Francisco Giants. And the question of the day, I haven't even asked you guys, is who do you think is going to be the 2025 version of Heliot Ramos? Who has the best chance to be this year's Heliot Ramos per the title of the damn podcast? And I haven't even asked that. It's been 35 minutes into the podcast. So now we're starting. Now we're going an hour from now. No. We're not doing that. But yeah, your thoughts. Let me know in the YouTube chat. We'll get into it shortly. Just trying to catch up here on the YouTube. Here we go. Coming down in July, Walter. Good to know, Victor. Good to know. We'll definitely look at the calendar and see what is going on here at that time. And Victor chiming in, when Marty Lurie coming on to the podcast. Well, Marty is making the rounds in spring training. So he is down there in Scottsdale, and we all love to hear from Marty. So I'm definitely gonna reach out to Marty at some point and see if we're able to connect to get onto the pod. But it should be relatively soon. If we can get that together with Marty. So I would love to talk baseball with Marty. I mean, we might have a 3-hour pod. You know what I mean? Like, there's no time restraints with Marty. Just love to talk ball with him. So Pat H, Walt, what is your go-to food to get at the Giants game? That's a good question. Go-to food. Damn. They used to have these nachos that were pretty bomb. I mean, you never go wrong with a Sheboygan. I love the Sheboygan sausage. Don't take that out of context, Tacky. I know you're lurking or rocking for that matter. Let's see here. Outside of the Sheboygan, I did like this. It was a taco spot that was up in the third deck, right when you get off of the escalators, kind of by, I think they have like the Corona
damn, what are those things called? The shipping carts or whatever the fuck they're called. Anyways, I think they have like that Corona lounge up there, right when you get off of the ramp or right where you get off of the escalator. I think right across maybe from, what is that? Maybe Tony's Pizza, up in the third deck. Anyway, there used to be really good nachos up there, and I think they've changed it or rebranded it. It wasn't the same after, a couple of years ago. The garlic fries were always good, but they've changed the recipe or whatever the hell they're doing with the quality of the ingredients. It didn't taste the same. I always like a slice of Tony's Pizza, for sure. So I don't know if I'm helping you out at all, Pat H. I kind of float around and whatever sounds good at the moment. Like if I want a Ghirardelli sundae, I'll go get a sundae. You know what I mean? I have not actually. You guys are gonna probably revoke my my Giants card. I have not had the crab sandwich in center field. I have not had that yet. So I apologize. I definitely have to try. Although, I mean, isn't the crab sandwich like $30-something? I ain't trying to do that. I ain't trying to. I'll try it. But if I split it with like 3 other people and then we quarter it or whatever, or not, you can't quarter it. Third it. You cut it into thirds. Make it like little mini sliders of a crab sandwich. But I have not had a crab sandwich, so I don't know. What are your recommendations, Pat H? I would love to hear your recommendations and everyone else's recommendations of food to eat at the ballpark. They did bring in some good tacos in the club level, right there. It's kind of on the right hand side, the first base side portion, like right when you wrap around on the back side and come out by where the restrooms are. They used to have, I think they were just like called Mission Street Tacos or something like that. To be honest, I don't know what it was called, but it was just a taco stand or a taco, like a little taqueria. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Or that was pretty good. The 2 times that I tried it, me and Marcus had them, and I think we gave the A of approval. So let's see. Got Disneyland. We're going back to the conversation. Hell yeah. Got Disneyland in Anaheim, but yeah, weird how the Angels want to be an LA team so bad. Yeah, I mean, again, Anaheim doesn't exist. Disneyland doesn't exist. You know what I mean? No, I'm just kidding. Now I'm gonna get all the Disney adults going nuts at me, and unsubscribing from the podcast because I got Disney slander on the brain. No, Disneyland does exist. I go quite often. So yes, I do know that it exists. Let's go back out here. Bacon Polish dog outside the ballpark. I've not had those. You know what? I've had the hot dogs from the cart ladies. I've had them before, but I don't know if I do that on a regular basis. Like that's just like a break glass type thing when I'm starving. But yeah, let's see what else we got going on. In the YouTube chat, let's catch on up. Has Greg Silver watched Coming to America yet? Yes, he did. He did watch it. He watched it last night. We talked about it today, and I don't know if you guys caught any of that. The whip around segment today at 11:50. But in honor of the Coming to America and the SNL and Eddie Murphy, I asked the question: name me the best or not best comedy, but the best movie featuring an SNL cast member. Dieter took it with two because the first answer, he thought it was a character from SNL, which he went to Wayne's World, which is a winning answer, right? But he didn't fully understand to where I said, no, it's just cast members, whatever movie. And again, you open up the catalog, there's like 4,000 movies that you can pick from. Then he ultimately went Caddyshack, which is another movie that Silver has not watched. So yeah, that's how we did the whip around segment today. But we got a homework assignment. Maybe he's gonna come in tomorrow and because he didn't watch Coming to America, he watched it today and he gave us the history lesson on country Coming to America. And what's it called? He hasn't seen Caddyshack, so he has to go watch Caddyshack. And we'll have to see if he comes into it a new man tomorrow. because I did give him shit because I was like, dude, young Tony has watched Caddyshack. You can't be that guy. You can't be that Silver. We got to do better, and I take full responsibility. I gotta whip this guy into shape. No pun intended. But let's go back out to the YouTube chat really quickly. Ernie chiming in here, 635. What's up, Ernie? Good to see you in here. We just went through the rundown of the contest a little while ago. We just showed off the wheel. But Ernie, you are in there. You are entered in for a chance to win. So appreciate you stopping by, for sure. AJ Cruz likes the garlic fries. All right. I appreciate it. Tacky, I may go to food at Oracle is beer. Oh yeah. My go-to at Oracle Park is beer. You know what? I like that. I like that a lot. I can get behind that. Yes. The Cha-Cha Bowl. That reminds me of doing Giants warm-up last year where we had a rejoiner that was Cha-Cha Bowls and some other crap that was going on, but me and Raph always had a riff every time that would come on. It's just like I want to go get a Cha-Cha Bowl now. So it was a lot of fun. I'm gonna miss that. Let's see what else we got going on here. I used to get 2 crab sandwiches because one never filled me up. Okay, good to know. But next time we go out there, I guess the Passion for the Pastime crew, I will cater. I will give everyone a crab sandwich. Just one. We're all sharing one crab sandwich. And yeah, that's the big thing too, because I've always gone over there rocking. The lines for the crab sandwich is hella long. So that's also like, I want my food immediate. That's why my usually go-to is like pizza. Because that's quick. You just go up, get a slice, and you walk away. Yeah, I'm not gonna, and especially with the pitch clock now, and the games are way too fast. Like I'm not gonna waste 4 innings to get a crab sandwich. You know what I mean? Like I guess if I plan it out right and I'm there early and I get like the first batch of crab sandwiches, I guess it works out. But nah, dude, I'm not gonna go there during the middle of the game. And you can't even watch the game there. I think they have TVs over in that area. You can't watch the game. Like Jesus, it's so dumb. Like they should put it on the walkway over there. Actually no, because the line would just be impossible and you wouldn't be able to walk through over in the arcade area. But anyways, I digress. $30 for a crab sandwich. I don't know if it's $30. Again, I am the king of over exaggerating. Oh shit. Oh god. I needed to, I should have muted myself. Sorry, guys. Just choked on my own saliva, thinking about food and crab sandwiches. Yeah, no, I over-exaggerate all the time. You guys should know this by now. Rockin' coming in, it was, okay, so 2018. So due to inflation, the crab sandwich back in 2018 was $22. But due to inflation, I'm going to say, we'll find out. We'll do some research. But I'm going to say the crab sandwich is probably around $28. That's going to be my guess. 26 to 28, but 28 sounds good. 28 sounds good. Maybe not 30, but 28 is my guess. Let's see here. Tacky. Every 10 years or so, I get a crab sandwich and always regret it. Okay, good to know. I mean, the reviews on the crab sandwich, like we're talking about the crab sandwich, we're ripping shit. We're ripping the crab sandwich. It does not make me want to have a crab sandwich. Thank you, Pat H, for bringing up this conversation. I mean, who knew that everybody would be so fired up on these takes for the food at the ballpark? Which, by the way, it reminds me, we'll get this guy on at some point. I think it was Rob Biertemfel, I think was his name. He covers the Baltimore Orioles, and they have this badass, like, oh my god. I haven't had it, but from everything that I've heard and all the reviews and they make rankings of this, they have this barbecue spot at Camden Yards. I think it's behind left field. They have this barbecue spot out there, well known, and apparently that's really good, because I remember it was during the pandemic and we were talking about talking baseball, but not really a lot of baseball going on. So I asked him, like, how often do you find yourself going down to the barbecue? He's like, oh, dude, when they cater for the media spread, and they got the barbecue down there. He's like, it's really good. Like, so that made me hungry. We started talking about ballpark food. That was one of my actually favorite episodes that I ever did on the old version of Passion for the Pastime, the audio version. Rob Biertemfel, I believe it was his name. So we'll definitely have him on here and talk some ballpark food for sure. Pat H chiming in. The place next to the crab sandwich is the fish and chips with Cajun waffle fries. Pretty good. That does sound pretty good. Chicken tenders and fries are the best bang for your buck. I agree, and I believe my girlfriend would agree to that as well, Rockin'. She loves the chicken tendies, which, by the way, I'm going to pop out my chicken tendy hat maybe tomorrow. Maybe next week. We're going to go and do a no-cap segment where I'm going to put on a hat, and Rockin' is gonna give me a rating. Might have to call in for that one, Rockin'. But we'll do that as we get further into the season. Bratz Pizza, fish and chips. All right, hell yeah. Damn, hot dogs outside the ballpark are like 10. No, they're not. Are they really? 10 to 15 bucks? I ain't buying that. Come on, bro. Inflation. Jeez, I'm telling you. This is crazy. All right, you guys are making me hungry. I'm salivating for sure. What did Tacky say? Walter's gonna have to Venmo us the money for the crab sandwich since he's gonna flake. All right, Tacky, calm down. Tacky's just mad because he wasn't at Del Cielo. He had some FOMO. Come on, bro. I saw your comment in John's page on John's stream earlier today. So I get it. I understand, Tacky. Let's see what else we got here. Hooked up Tacky with a 20% off season ticket member QR code for his beer. All right, Pat H. Well, spread the love a little bit. I'm just saying. Spread the love. All right, so let's get on out to some of these videos here. I do have a couple of quick. Thank you, Rockin'. Rockin's defending me now. Before a couple weeks ago, when I flaked on him twice, he was like, "Oh, dude, I'm done with Walter." So he can't call him a flake, but Tacky wasn't there, so he can still call me a flake. So it's all good, all well for now. Until the next time I flake on you, my friend, which there will be a next time eventually. Just preparing you now mentally. Yeah, I'm only gonna go to games Pat is also at. Yeah, that's a good way to go about it. I mean, yeah, if he's gonna be sharing that QR code, I'm gonna have to look for Pat every single time I'm out there. Let's see what else. I still can call him a flake. He didn't show up when I was there. All right, Tacky. Yeah, no, you're valid. You're valid. All right, so let's go ahead and go to Bob Melvin. A couple of things here. I'm gonna play 2 minutes of Bob Melvin in his media scrum earlier today ahead of training camp, or not training camp, of spring training of the workouts. And here's Bob Melvin. Pretty much the premise is he's talking about backup second base and all that kind of stuff, and talking about Justin Verlander and just hear it from Bob Melvin himself.
Given what you said about Tyler and the comfort level he had last year, if you do need like a day off for Adames or DH day, would you slide him over, or would you prefer whoever wins that backup
We're
job?
still kind of talking about that. If he's pretty comfortable over at second base, maybe we ended up putting somebody else out there. Casey's had some reps there. Wisely's had some reps there. So as I sit here right now, we're probably a little bit more so just play him at second base and make sure he's comfortable there.
Do you see Wilmer getting any reps at second?
No, Wilmer's going to be at first. I doubt we'd even put Wilmer at third at this point.
I know Verlander's only been here for a week, but can you tell the impact he's in the clubhouse and on the field?
Yeah, at the bullpens, he's like the Pied Piper right now. And it's surprising, he threw a bullpen the other day, and then usually you go do your arm care after that. He stayed out to watch specific guys. He had a lot of input for Birdsong one day, Ragsdale one day. So I think he's at a point in time of his career where he realizes that there's a lot for him to give back. And for a guy that's been in a couple different places, never been out in Arizona before, never really been in the West or anything like that, it's been great to see how all in he is on the team and trying to make some of these younger guys better. And he also understands that we have a lot of younger starters here in our organization, kind of the next wave, and he's doing whatever he can to help them out.
Have you had any talks with Bryce so far about what you expect from him and just maybe taking some time this year? He rose so quickly last year, which was a bit unprecedented. Not
really yet. Well, I'll let him get through a few days. It's only day 3 or whatever it is right now. But the day before we get into games, I'll talk to him about, where his reps are going to be. It's going to be either first or DH, but typically we, guys know the day before they're going to play, so he will as well. But I let him settle in first before we start talking about what's the expectations are.
When you see his swing, when the time comes, is he like a guy that's made for Oracle Park in that right field?
I think he's made for any ballpark. I mean, our right field at Oracle's it's tough. Down the line's one thing, but out in the gaps, it's really big. So, in the past, it's been a little bit difficult for power hitters, but he has the type of swing, the type of power, type of leverage where I don't think the ballpark makes a difference to him.
The mute button. God damn it. God damn it. All right, so let me start back over. So right there we heard it from Bob Melvin talking about Justin Verlander and everything along those lines. But at the beginning of this media or this video rather, Walter's gonna give the winner to the tickets on the mute button. Yeah, dude, that would be hilarious. Oh my god. That would be okay, tacky. That's the best Walter has ever sounded. Yeah, appreciate it. Pinche Walter. Yeah, I know, man. I don't know. You know what? I just gotta keep the mic on. I just gotta keep the mic on because I forget to freaking turn it on all the damn time. Anyways, getting back to Bob Melvin and what he was talking about at second base, right? Because and how that ties into the question of our podcast. Who has the best chance of being this year's Heliot Ramos? Now, I'm not saying that one of these guys have their best chance to be this year's Heliot Ramos, but we have to remember that Heliot Ramos did not make the 26 man. He did not break camp on the opening day roster. He started in Sacramento, and we don't know what's going to happen with Bryce Eldridge. We don't know where he's going to be starting. I mean, we were talking with Susan Slusser, and he did finish in AAA, so he could potentially go and start in AAA. But if you're asking me, and I think Susan was kind of the belief as well, for developing as a first baseman, it would be better served, especially with now that the A's, and I saw Tacky with the note, and I saw it come across my phone. Evan Delrich put out there with Lawrence Butler working on a extension with the A's, 24-year-old. I mean, that would be huge for the A's. He was a really good player for them last year. Hit about, I think he hit over 20 home runs, something along those lines. Like a 260 hitter or something along those lines. But we'll definitely dive into that with maybe some A's people as well. But just going back to Bryce Eldridge is, I don't know if it makes sense, and what Susan was alluding to is that I don't know if it makes sense for, you're trying to learn the position, you're trying to educate Bryce Eldridge on how to be a first baseman, but then you're going to be playing on a field that's going to kind of rapidly go to shit because it's going to be played on constantly every single day. So, you're going to have professional grounds crews and all that kind of stuff, and they'll make sure the field is in a good working condition, right? But it would make more sense, and I think you get more challenge as a hitter at the AA level. So we'll have to figure that out with Bryce Eldridge. But also, I mean, he could be a candidate in this sense of being this year's Heliot Ramos, right? That guy that gets a shot because of injury. Because you start looking at the positions in it for the Giants going into into camp, right? Tyler Fitzgerald is dealing with a back issue. And could that issue linger into the regular season and put him a little bit further behind? And does he start the year on the IL? I mean, it's way too early to make those type of determinations. But my big thing is, Heliot Ramos's shot came because of injury, right? And I want to say he was called up because of the early injury to Jorge Soler. I believe so. I'm trying to remember correctly because there was a slew of injuries to the outfield that went down. But I want to say Heliot got called up for Soler injury early in the season, like early May, I think, is when that happened. It happened. I think Soler got hurt like right before Jung-Hoo Lee did. So anyways, I mean, it came from being the right place, right time. And he got called up via injury. Now, this could be a similar situation for Casey Schmidt, who can also be vying for a backup, utility role. He could play all over the infield, but then you also have Brett Wisely. I'm not going to say that Brett Wisely is someone that has the best chance of being this year's Heliot Ramos, but I would say that Casey Schmidt potentially has that caliber because if should anything happen with Tyler Fitzgerald, whether it be injury or, he gets a sophomore slump, they're going to have to go somewhere else. And you heard it there in, I think it was Pavs that asked the follow-up with Wilmer Flores. Is he going to be playing anywhere else other than first base? And it sounds like he's strictly going to be a first baseman. He's not going to be playing at second, and he's definitely not even going to be in consideration to play third base. That will fall on most likely Casey Schmidt, who will likely be on the team as the backup utility, infielder. And then you look at the other positional needs, right? You look at the other positions that was kind of a turnstile a little bit last year with first base. First base, you have a ton of injuries that go on there constantly. Gerard Encarnacion, he could play first base, but he might make the team as an outfielder. You also have Luis Matos, because Luis Matos and Gerard Encarnacion, they're going to be out there to spell Mike Yastrzemski, right? That's going to be the platoon in that regard. So you have these type of guys that once an injury happens, that they're going to have their opportunity. And also, just looking at first base, you have Lamont Wade Jr., who, I mean, they've said that he can potentially play in the outfield, but he's a first baseman. We know that is the best spot for him to be, because if he goes into the outfield, that leaves you prone to injury and you're running around more body movement, and you could end up getting injured more likely than if you're just at first base. Not saying that you can't get hurt at first, but I'm just saying the more that he's running around in the outfield with his history of his lower body injuries, you don't want that. The same thing with Jorge Soler. It's kind of the same approach. I would assume it would be the same approach with Lamont Wade Jr. Just the fact that Lamont Wade will be hitting leadoff and is expected to run the bases, not like Jorge Soler, but in the sense of trying to limit their I guess not ability, but limit their opportunities to get injured is what they want to do with Lamont. But the injury history is there. You look at Wilmer. Wilmer was injured for a good portion of the year last year. So does that open the door for Bryce Eldridge? Do they go a different route? I mean, you got a Jake Lamb in camp. Do they go that direction just to not speed up and not overplay Bryce Eldridge and not overexpose him in the early parts of his development? That'll be interesting. But with a lot of these players, and also, I mean, if you don't just want to go with the traditional, I guess, route of what Heliot Ramos did, or to replicate that with coming in after an injury, I mean, let's just take it in the sense of who could potentially have the biggest breakout, right? Who could have potentially the biggest breakout in 2025 And it all comes down to roster construction. I mean, if you were to ask me last year, I would be full in on Hayden Birdsong. But at this point, barring any injuries, and injuries can always happen, and games haven't even started, right? So injuries can always happen. But with talking with Susan and just kind of reading the articles and looking at the projections, it looks like Kyle Harrison's going to be that number 5 starter. Now things can change, but it just seems that Hayden Birdsong won't have that ability to be out there to where he can be this year's Heliot Ramos in the sense of arriving on the scene in Major League Baseball and really putting your mark on the franchise and on this team and be the reason why they're winning games. So Hayden Birdsong, I mean, he could be a candidate should there be any injuries. Do we want to go Jordan Hicks? You know what I mean? I mean, he's going to try to go through a whole 162 as being a starter. He's put on the weight. There's a different mentality about him. I think, with the confidence being instilled in him from Buster Posey and also from Bob Melvin saying that the training wheels are off. You're going to go out there. You're going to go and compete every 5th day. Is he a viable candidate to arrive? I mean, he's pitched in Major League Baseball before. He's been an elite closer in years past. But I'm just saying, is this his welcoming party, I guess, to officially being seen as not a bullpen guy, as being a starter, right? So you can look at it in that way. With that, the thing is, my whole point of this is that the Giants have a lot of candidates for this particular accolade, I guess, or not. I don't know if accolade is the right word, but the best chance of being this year's Heliot Ramos to come onto the scene and make your presence known. They have a ton of candidates to fill that role. I would even argue to Jung-Hoo Lee, right? I mean, we saw Jung-Hoo Lee only for what was it? I think Pat H or maybe Mike Val told me 37 games. That's all he had last year. So he's going to be going into this year kind of rookie year 2.0, but we know that he's a professional, and he's going to be potentially in that 3 spot most of the time, right? As long as Lamont Wade Jr. is in that leadoff spot. If he isn't, I would assume that Jung-Hoo Lee would go to the leadoff spot in his absence. But you look at Jung-Hoo Lee, he could be a candidate as well. Like, this could be his coming out party, right? So we're just looking at the guys on the surface. And going back to the YouTube chat, EB just mentioned Luis Matos and Marco Luciano. I mean, this is potentially a put up or shut up type season for both of those guys. Luis Matos, now, are the at-bats going to be there for both of them? It remains to be seen. But the last I checked, there's not a consistent DH guy, right? And Matos, I think, is going to be on this roster to pair with Mike Yastrzemski and be in the platoon, right? Until he either takes off or Mike Yastrzemski gets hurt, because that's going to happen at some point as well. That just happens with Mike Yastrzemski, and that just happens with Lamont Wade Jr. But Marco Luciano, I mean, he's someone else that is trying to play the outfield. I don't know how well that's going. I haven't seen anything on any reports as far as Marco Luciano. So Luciano, can he factor in to be the DH? I know he's young, and I know that, that's kind of unconventional thinking to have such a young player, such a young person in the DH spot. But all I'm saying is, if the bat is there, if what we are hearing in camp, in that, he was trying to do too many things, he was very uncomfortable, and the approach was just off, right? If he corrected all of that, and if he's feeling more like the Marco Luciano that this organization had envisioned prior to, prior to drafting him, is there a belief to where Marco Luciano comes into? What if Marco Luciano comes into camp and he just absolutely tears the cover off the ball? I would say that he has more of an opportunity to make this team than Bryce Eldridge does. So, I mean, looking at that DH spot, and also, I mean, give him a first base mitt. Like, can he play first base? I don't know. You're not going to put him at second base because they already tried that. That didn't work. You got to find an outfield spot for him, but I don't know. Again, I don't know how good that whole situation's going. But yeah, no, I mean, those are other guys. Those are other candidates. That's the whole point in this question, is that there's so many different ways that we can go about it. And I see you guys chiming in on the question, as far as who you guys think that are going to do that. Lori chiming in earlier said she prefers Birdsong over Harrison. I think I do as well. But I do think that Harrison is another guy. I mean, I don't know if I mentioned him already, but Harrison could be a guy that is arriving, right? Like this could be his coming out year. That can be this year's best chance of being Heliot Ramos. Now, do they need to make the All-Star team for this to kind of be a fair comparison? You know, ideally, yes, it would be kind of the coming out party for those types of players, but just someone that makes their impact felt, and you start thinking a little bit differently about them. But most notably, I mean, what EB was saying earlier with Luis Matos and with Marco Luciano, and you just start looking at guys like maybe even Casey Schmidt, right? Because those are the guys that are someone goes down, it's next man up type mentality, and that's how Heliot Ramos kind of broke onto the scene last year. So I would love to get everybody's thoughts on that. I see the comments coming in here. I'll go out to the YouTube chat really quickly. Pat H chiming in on the conversation. I want to see if Matos hype from Winter League stuff is real. Hopefully he can take some ABs, outfield ABs from Yaz. I mean, yeah, that's the big thing that I think a lot of people are looking to with Luis Matos, because I mean, when we talked to Carlos Ramirez about Luis Matos and talking about his performance in Winter League, he did straight up say, that winter ball league, it's very hitter friendly, right? But that's not to take any shot, to throw any shade at Luis Matos. The big thing, what the winter ball does for him, and we've talked about it, and even JT Snow has talked about it, and I think even Will Clark said it today, is a big hurdle for these young guys is to have confidence. You have confidence, you could do anything in this damn league. So they're all talented. It's just they have to put it together, and they have to believe in their ability. And Luis Matos putting in that effort in the winter, maybe that's the start of his trajectory in believing that he can be a big leaguer. Now, there has to be a lot of other things that transpire for that to happen for Luis Matos. But just going back to Pat H, just talking about the hype from Winter League stuff. I mean, yeah, no, he really was excelling in the Winter League. And I think, numbers aside and all that kind of stuff, he has confidence instilled in himself again that you can't take away, right? You can't take away until someone does and gives you a sombrero. So we'll have to see how that goes with Luis Matos. But that's one of the big storylines that I'd like to see as well, because I'm with you, Pat. I would love to see Luis Matos in there in a regular basis, because, Mike Yastrzemski, he's a leader. We all know that. He's great defensively, and we've heard Bob Melvin and Buster Posey say time and time again, pitching defense. That's what's going to be the priority. So maybe that's what leads Mike Yastrzemski to have more at bats than Luis Matos. But if Luis Matos can prove that he has a plus bat that we've seen for short spurts at a time, but if he can make it, if he can replicate it and do it over and over and over again, then I think that's where you see the pendulum shift. You see it go from Mike Yastrzemski, who has this plus defense, but a very average to, very, very, very minimal ceiling for offense. And then you go to Luis Matos, that his ceiling for offense could be potentially through the roof, and he can field. That's also a confidence thing for him as well, because he started pressing, he started trying to do things that he couldn't do because his bat wasn't working, and he tried to do it with the glove, and he was overcompensating, and he wasn't able to do that and put himself in bad situations. So again, it's all mental. Baseball is all mental. We all know that aspect of that. So let's see, Tacky chiming in on Luis Matos. Matos gets on these hot streaks, then goes cold. Granted, in Farhan's world, you can't work through a slump if you're a kid. Yeah, and that's also the big thing here with Buster Posey and the new regime, in that you're going to see some of these guys struggle, and it's okay for them to struggle. You have to go through struggle. That's how you get better. That's something that I think Farhan and the front office of the previous regime didn't understand. It was that this is the model. This is what you're supposed to be doing. If you're not doing it, get the hell out of here. We're going to get somebody else that can. Right. So that is a very different approach. I think that what this new regime with Buster Posey is going to do. They're going to try to work through these guys and give them the opportunity to sink or swim. And, and it's not just like, oh, they're going under the water, they're just going to let them drown. Like they're going to try to give them the opportunity to come back above the surface. So that's a big difference, I think, that can go a really long way for some of these young guys, for sure. Let's see what else we got going on here. Walter remembers his coming out party. Yes, I do. Thank you, Tacky. Appreciate it. Let's see. I think they prefer. Oh, what's up, Wes? What, Wes? Are you Wesley? By the way, are you Wesley in the draw? I got an email from a Wesley. I'm assuming that's you. But let's see. I think they prefer McRae speed, guaranteed speed over Matos at the moment, but rooting for Matos. Yeah, and that's the thing too. I mean, going back to the pitching and defense, his speed. If Grant McRae could put it together, that does make him a little bit difficult to deal with, right? I was gonna play some video here from Grant McRae, but we'll probably get into that a little bit later. But he was pretty much talking about essentially. You can go check it out on KMBR on Twitter. But essentially, Austin Scottsdale, shout out Digital Guy from KMBR. He went out there and talked to Grant McRae and pretty much talked about his tools and he compared it to Heliot Ramos, Jung-Hoo Lee, and Grant McRae being in the outfield, that it would be like a video game type scenario to where it's going to be really hard for balls to drop for opposing teams. Now, I don't know if I would go that far, but the range on those guys would be exceptional. I mean, you have a pairing of Grant McRae in right field and Jung-Hoo Lee in center field. I mean, God, pray for balls to drop in that vicinity. You're gonna have to hit it over the wall or hit it off the wall, something like that. But yeah, no, to have that type of speed with Grant McRae, it's just a matter of, can he get on base? Can he do it at a regular pace, right? I mean, he kind of came on strong towards the end of the season, but it remains to be seen. It's consistency with Grant McRae. But I am with you, Wes. I do think that there is a little bit more favor towards Grant McRae at this juncture than Luis Matos, but you never know. Spring can definitely turn heads and change opinions really quickly as far as what their evaluation is for these young outfielders, because they have a lot of them, and you're going to see some of these guys at some point or another. Let's see. Yeah, Peekaboo. Yeah, doing your best Kendrick Lamar impression. Appreciate it, Wes. Really do. Let's see what else we got going on here really quickly. Been laying low for baseball season to start. Hell yeah, Wes. I mean, hey, baseball lives here 24/7, 365, man. So feel free to stop by. I have missed you in the chat, but good to see you in here. Good to see you talking some baseball, man, because we all have the itch, right? I mean, that's why we're all here. We all have the itch for baseball coming back into our lives. I mean, the first game, honestly, first game of Cactus League, I believe, is tomorrow. I don't. Are the Dodgers and the Cubs? They're not in Japan yet, right? They're just starting camp early. But the Dodgers and the Cubs are playing tomorrow at 3:00, so I'm definitely going to be watching that on MLB Network. So just to let everybody know what my plans are at 3:00 tomorrow. Let's see what else here. Let's see what else we got going on here in the YouTube chat. What else has been oh, dude, you guys are hilarious. Been on the hunt for that trash bag. Hell yeah. Does Walter keep freezing for y'all, or is it a me problem? No, it's definitely oh damn. Almost died. No, it's definitely a me problem, Tacky. I have to get hardlined in here, so I gotta run a wire through the wall. I just haven't had the opportunity to do that. So we are going to definitely be working on that in the next couple of days. Definitely before the start of the regular season. But yeah, no, I just got a hard line into my router and then we'll be good from there. It's a connection issue. I see the damn the Wi-Fi bars popping in here. So yeah, no, I appreciate you sticking through the podcast with all the hiccups. Really do. Really appreciate it, guys. Let's see here. Pat H chiming in as well. Occasionally freezes up. Part of the charm. Oh, hell yeah, dude. That's the operation that we're running here. But yeah, so really quickly, because I'm gonna get on out of here, and then I'll play the video of the day from camp. Really quickly, because we have a couple of new people in here. Not new, but I think Wes has already confirmed that he is Wesley, right? Did he confirm that? Did he confirm that for me? But if he didn't, let me just go ahead and remind everybody in here that is listening to the podcast, welcome back to Passion for the Pastime, or it is your first time, welcome to Passion for the Pastime. My name is Walter Ricardo. I work at KMBR, and we are running a contest. We went over 100 subscribers a couple of weeks ago, and that is a big thank you to everybody here that is currently in the chat, and a big thank you to everyone that doesn't watch it live and watches it and consumes the content on a 24/7 basis. So really appreciate you guys, and how I want to show that appreciation after getting over the century mark of subscribers on the YouTube. I want to give away two tickets to go see the Giants in the regular season. The day is not etched in stone. We'll work with you as far as if you are the winner. We'll work with you what game it is. Just be mindful, right? Just be mindful that probably won't be a Dodger game. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but it probably won't be a Dodger game. Just throwing that out there. But gonna try to get you guys out there. Maybe the first homestand of the season. Maybe that first series against the Reds. Or if we can get you something on the weekend against the Mariners, we can make that happen as well, but we'll have to see what we can do. So two tickets to one of you lucky listeners of Passion for the Pastime. And what we're going to do is, or what I need you to do, if you haven't done so, if your subscriptions are not public and I can't see you, you have to submit a screenshot and or take a screenshot of you subscribe to the channel and send that screenshot to passionforthepastime@gmail.com. Again, passionforthepastime@gmail.com to be entered for a chance to win those two tickets to a Giants game during the regular season of the 2025 season, sooner rather than later. So Wesley can confirm Wes, sorry, 415 Wes can confirm that his name is Wesley. So yes, I got your submission, Wes. You are good to go. And just to show you guys again, if you weren't here earlier, let me show you right now. I'll add it to the stage. That is our wheel. That is what we're going to be doing when the time arises. And we just hit the button. Got all your names in here. This is a practice run, right? And the winner of the draw is Yvette. So Yvette is the winner, right? That's how it's going to work. It's going to pop up there. We're all going to see it. And that is how we're going to go ahead and do it tomorrow. Again, we're going to do it during the show tomorrow. That was a practice run. Don't freak out. Mama J and Yvette did not win. I'm going to close this browser so that we get a fresh wheel. And it's not a repeat. And if we do have like a Mama J in the first spin tomorrow, we'll shuffle through the names again so that there isn't a conflict with that. But we'll see how we end up doing it. We'll see what time we do it. We'll probably do it at the end of the show tomorrow. But again, tomorrow is going to be the draw. So be around here. We start at 6:00. We'll do it maybe at 6:45 so that we get the winner. Maybe the winner can call in on the cruise line and share some thoughts about the Giants. We'll do something fun, but that's what it's going to look like tomorrow for the giveaway. That is the Wheel of Fortune for the two Giants tickets. So we'll definitely do that tomorrow. So you guys, really quickly before we get on out of here, I'm going to share one more thing from you, because yesterday we shared the crack of the bat of Willie Adames, and I'm sure a lot of you guys, if you guys live on X, if you live on Twitter, that you guys have seen this video circulating. I love it, not just the sound of the crack of the bat, but Justin Verlander's reaction. So really quickly, it is Justin Verlander on the mound against Heliot Ramos, which asked the question, who has the best chance of being this year's Heliot Ramos? But let's go ahead and bring it up for you guys so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. All right, hold on. I don't know if you guys caught that. And if you guys have seen this, go ahead and see it again. Watch it on repeat. But this is Justin Verlander against Heliot Ramos, and just wait right after, like the split second after the crack of the bat, and it was a homer, by the way. He took him deep. And how do we feel? I mean, it's so funny because we're getting excited about seeing Heliot Ramos. I mean, it's throwing live BP, right? But we're getting excited about Heliot Ramos and Willie Adames hitting bombs, but then we forget that it's our pitchers that are throwing it. So it's like, oh, you remember, you're like, oh yeah, he hit a homer, and it's like, oh man, but it was off of Logan. Oh crap, it was off of Justin Verlander. But let's go ahead and play that one more time. Right after the crack of the bat, that's where the gold is. And then you hear everybody in the background just, oh. One more time if you missed it. You know what we're doing. One more time. just to hear Justin Verlander go, fuck. Like right after. One more time, because who doesn't love this? Oh man, I cannot wait to see Justin Verlander be on the mound for the San Francisco Giants. But it is it's pretty funny. It was a pretty funny one. So all right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap on up here and say goodbye to all of you really quickly. I see Tacky talking S about the show. Hold on, what's he saying? That's how it's going to be when Walter and I play MLB The Show. He's going to be yelling fuck while throwing up takes. Hey, it's very likely because I don't know if you guys remember Copes talking about our games on MLB The Show. He would bring it up every so often on at the time it was Tolbert and Copes. But I don't think he's brought it up with Dirty Work, but we would play every night, right? And he owns me. I mean, come on. We'll be realistic here. He kicked my ass every single night, and even when I was winning, and I remember I was up, and I served. I was up by 2, and I served up a grand slam to Ken Griffey Jr. And that's exactly it, Tacky. That is what I said on the couch when I served that up to him. Grand slam. I forget where the hell we were playing, but he hit a tank to right field. And that's what I did. That's what I said. I said, fuck. that was exactly my reaction. So yeah, you're right on par with that one, Tacky. But we'll definitely do that. I definitely have to get hooked up with the hard line before we can do that. But we'll bring MLB The Show to the podcast. We'll have some fun with that for sure. Definitely when the new game comes out, we'll be fully operational. But I'm trying to get that thing going sooner rather than later. So you guys have a good one. Be safe. I hope you guys all enjoyed this episode of the podcast. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you did as well. We'll be back at it again tomorrow for the finale of the last show without Giants baseball tomorrow, and we will be doing the giveaway for the 2 tickets to go see the Giants in the 2025 season. Again, if you have not submitted your entry, feel free to go ahead and take a screenshot and send that screenshot to passionforthepastime@gmail.com if you have not done so yet. There are some of you that are included in this draw that I can see you subscribe to the podcast publicly, but not everybody that is in here that I can see that I could do that for. But we'll go over the names, and if you are in the YouTube chat and you do not see your name in there and think that it should be in there, we'll get you situated tomorrow before we do the final draw for the Giants tickets, the 2 tickets during the regular season. So we will do that tomorrow. So you guys have a good one. We'll be back at it again tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock sharp, and we will get you those tickets for sure. So to everybody, Mike, Val, Tacky, Rocket New Era, EB, Lori, Wes, thank you for stopping by. I think we had Victor in here earlier at one point as well. Otis was in here as well at one point. Appreciate all you guys coming over here. AJ, I don't know if I thanked AJ already, but if I did, I thanked AJ twice. But thank you all for stopping by and making this podcast a lot of fun. I do it for you guys. It's a lot of fun. It's damn near therapy. Just wait until we get into the regular season where I start just losing my mind because the Giants are 5 games under 500. So we'll continue to do that again tomorrow, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock sharp, we will be starting the podcast, and we will have the giveaway, not at 6 o'clock sharp, but we'll have it towards the back end of the show, maybe even in the middle. We'll do it during tomorrow's show, the giveaway for the 2 Giants tickets. So you guys have a good one. Be safe. 6 o'clock tomorrow. I'll see you here. And we do have baseball tomorrow, 3 o'clock for the Dodgers and the Cubs. Maybe we'll talk about that too. I don't know. Hiroki Sasaki threw in the bullpen today. I don't know if anybody cares. Fuck the Dodgers. All right, you guys have a good one. Be safe, and talk to you next time.